Part 102. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1013. A group of people set off together, starting from Yunnan and passing through several provinces. After several months, they returned to the capital. The first thing to do when returning here is naturally to meet with the emperor. When the emperor learned that Pingxi King Wu Sangui had been killed and his son Wu Yingxiang had been captured, he burst into laughter. It seems that he is very satisfied with the result. Pass my order and kill the traitor's son too. Absolutely no, Wu Yingxiang cannot be killed. In the court, Lu Feng directly vetoed the emperor's order. You must know that this is a rebellion, not to mention that this is the son of a traitor. Under normal circumstances, no one would dare to redress him. So when Lu Feng said this, after saying this, all the civil and military officials instantly became very ugly. When the emperor heard this, he asked, why can't you kill him? If Wu Yingxiang is killed, it will arouse the anger of the people all over the world. After all, the other party has surrendered. Under such circumstances, if he continues to kill him, everyone in the world knows that even as a prisoner, the final result will be nothing more than death. Then who will continue to surrender? After hearing the corresponding explanation, the emperor fell into deep thought. In fact, all the civil and military officials present strongly agreed with this point of view. From this aspect, everyone did not agree with killing Wu Yingxiang, but no one dared to say this. Doran, tell me what you think. Your Majesty, in fact, there are benefits to killing, and there are benefits to not killing a euro. Okay, stop talking nonsense, I really don't a euro trademark want to hear these useless things from you. He did not continue to ask other civil and military officials. After thinking for a moment, the emperor said to everyone, I think what Lu Zhenjun said just now is reasonable. If this is the case, then let Wu Yingxiang stay in the capital. Just make him a king. The emperor is wise and the emperor is merciful. All the civil and military officials present said in unison. General Lu, you have done a great job for me this time. I can give you any reward you want. Now that I have said this, I will boldly express my thoughts. I actually don't care about rewards, but if I have to, I would like to be crowned a king like Wu Yingxiang. As soon as these words came out, everyone present was even more shocked. Everyone originally thought that Lu Feng would want some gold and silver jewelry or a fiefdom, but they did not expect that he would actually make such a request. Looking around, there was also no one had ever made such a request. The emperor laughed and said it was very interesting. I didn't expect General Lu to be interested in this. General Lu helped me complete so many important things, including killing Obai, destroying Shenlong Island, disintegrating the Tiandihui, and eradicating Wu Sangui. These things may not be able to be completed in the hands of others. So I agree to your request, and I will make you King Lingtian. After receiving such a reward, Lu Feng was extremely prosperous in the court. He had just finished the morning court, and he saw many ministers from the court taking the initiative to come to him. Hello, King Lingtian, today is your special day. The emperor has also sealed a new residence for you. Today we will host a banquet for you to have a good meal. Now follow the old brothers. No problem at all. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1014. If Lu Feng hadn't wanted to have a good relationship with these DPRK and Chinese ministers, otherwise he would never have agreed to go out with these people. It's not a good thing to fight these two people in the court. On the surface, they are brothers to you, but they don't pay attention to loyalty at all. If something really happened, they would run faster than anyone else. In the original work, Wei Xiaobao was the one who suffered a lot, and Lu Feng would never be fooled by them. Everyone came to a relatively high-end restaurant. At the dinner table, Duolong said to Lu Feng, brother Lu, let me toast you today. If you need anything in the palace in the future, I can help you, just say it. I will never shirk it. Thank you in advance. After Duolong finished speaking, it was Minjiu's turn, and then it was the turn of the other ministers. They came up one by one. It was obvious that they wanted to use the will battle to get Lu Feng drunk. But they also thought of Lu Feng's drinking capacity. Even if all of them put together, they are no match for Lu Feng. After rounds of drinking, these ministers found that Lu Feng was not drunk at all, so they gave up the idea of a euro drinking. Lu Feng looked at everyone, and then said, "You guys have a really good capacity for drinking. I didn't expect that after drinking so much, I wasn't drunk at all. I wonder if it is convenient for you tonight. If possible, I would like to visit one house after another. Of course, no problem, come to my place tonight. I'm definitely free in the evening, come and sit at my house. I have the best tea in my house, so you can definitely come to my place." A euro. Everyone expressed their welcome to Lu Feng's arrival. But they didn't know that this was the beginning of their nightmare. After the dinner, Lu Feng went door to door as he said at the dinner. The first one to come was Suoetu's house. "Lord Suoetu, actually I have another purpose for coming here this time. I wonder why Brother Lu is here. I want to have a good discussion with you about how you instigated Wei Xiaobao to embezzle the 1 million taels of silver with you when you were raiding Obai's house." As soon as these words came out, Suoetu's face turned pale. Only he and Wei Xiaobao knew about this matter. If word spread, it would be a crime of beheading. How did Brother Lu know about this? Could it be that Brother Wei told you? It would be great if he told me. Don't you know that walls have ears? Don't a euro trademark T forget, I sent someone to kill Obai. After saying this, Suoetu immediately understood. Brother Lu, actually this is about a euro. Before the other party could finish speaking, Lu Feng interrupted him directly. In fact, Master Suoetu doesn't need to panic. If I wanted to harm you, I would have told the Emperor about this matter long ago. The reason why I came here to discuss this matter with you today is that I hope Master Suoetu can stand on my side in the court in the future. When he said this, Lu Feng also took out a large amount of banknotes from his arms. In this way, I will naturally not treat Master Suoetu badly. What do you think? Suoetu's eyes lit up when he saw these banknotes. He took a quick look and determined that there were at least 100,000 taels here. That's natural, I will definitely be on your side in the future. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. 3 Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1015. Suoetu took the banknote in one fell swoop. Faced with so much money, and it was free, he was still very greedy in his heart. Otherwise, when he raided Aobai's house, he wouldn't have worked so hard to encourage Wei Xiaobao to covet money and treasures with him. After Suoetu is settled, Duolong will come next, followed by the civil and military officials. Lu Feng spent a whole night visiting basically all the ministers' residences in the DPRK. He also threatened them with some crimes they had committed that were worthy of beheading, and at the same time gave them a candy. This way, they would definitely stand by Lu Feng when they needed to take sides in the future. After returning to Wei Xiaobao's house, Lu Feng rested for a while. After all, after walking around for such a long time, I already had back pain. However, they had not rested for long. As soon as they lay down, the eunuchs in the palace came out to send a message, saying that the emperor had summoned him secretly and was not allowed to inform anyone else. Wei Xiaobao glanced at Lu Feng and asked, "What do you think the emperor summoned us for? Maybe it's a matter of Ping San. After all, Ping 11 King Wu Sangui has been killed, and there are 2 other times. That's possible." In less than half an hour, the two of them arrived at the south study. After the emperor saw Lu Feng, he immediately said to him, "You handled Wu Sanggui's affairs very well, but he is not the only one who is worried. I know this, but you don't a Euro trademark T need to worry too much about the other two rounds. The most powerful King Pingzi is now in control. As for the other two, don't a Euro trademark T panic and give them an order to withdraw, and then see how they end up. Disobey. If you don't a Euro trademark T obey, eat a Euro trademark S not too late to take action. In fact, I have exactly the same idea, but I don't dare to make the decision easily, so I want you two to come over and discuss it carefully. Since General Lu also has this intention, let's do it." In the next few days, the news has spread all over the world. Wu Sangui, the king of Pingzi, has now been completely killed. Except for his son, everyone who followed him and was unwilling to obey has been beheaded. Maybe it is because this had a very great deterrent effect, so after receiving the order to withdraw, the other two bands immediately expressed their willingness to submit to the imperial court and immediately left for Beijing. After receiving such news, the emperor was its joy. But things are not over yet. After the third round of peace, there is still Chengtian mansion that needs to be attacked. There is no need to wait for the emperor to issue an order. Lu Feng himself took the initiative to make such a request, and then followed the large troops to prepare for Taiwan. It's just that Taiwan's Treasure Island has always been an easy to defend but difficult to attack place, and because it is across the strait, it must be able to swim. Only direct guidance will do. But apart from Shi Lang, almost no one else has such a talent. Just when I was worried, something suddenly happened outside the tent. "Who? Come out!" Lu Feng shouted, and then he saw Suquan and the people from Shenlong Island appearing in front of him. "How could it be you? It seems like they have been following us all this time." "Not really, it's just that we have been asking for news about you and heard that you were going to regain Taiwan, so we came directly to find you. What do you want from me? Don't you need our help?" Three Kingdoms, I have a job transfer palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1016. After hearing what Suquan said, Lu Feng felt that it was not impossible. This group of people from the Shenlong cult have always been on Shenlong Island. They need to take boats to and from the island, and they have to contend with the imperial army from time to time, so fighting at sea is already something they have experience with. It's just not necessarily whether these people are sincerely helping. "Now I do need some people who know how to fight with water, but why do you make me believe that you can help me?" Lu Feng asked directly. "Because there is my order." Suquan explained. "That day you killed the leader on Shenlong Island, which was actually a good thing for us people on Shenlong Island, and you also gave us the antidote, so you are our great benefactor. I will definitely help you accomplish all your great achievements in the future, and unlike those who oppose the imperial court, we don't care at all." After hearing what the other party said, Lu Feng couldn't help but sneered. To be honest, Suquan didn't lie, he just didn't tell all the reasons. "Why are you laughing?" "I'm laughing at you playing peekaboo with me. In fact, you don't have any love for Hong and Tung at all, right? Don't think that I don't know what you are thinking in your heart. Now you have two choices, either follow me from now on, or never appear in front of me." After saying these words to the other party very domineeringly, Lu Feng returned to his seat. Suquan was still a little panicked at first, but after listening to what Lu Feng said, his expression immediately changed. Greeting with a smile. "Brother Lu, since you have made it so clear, there is no need for me to hide it anymore. I just hope that I can follow you in the future. In this case, show your loyalty and help me regain Taiwan. You will be my woman from now on." Suquan nodded in agreement, and then a very shy scene appeared. In the following period, without the help of Suquan and the rest of the Shenlong sect, Taiwan was successfully recovered in less than half the time originally expected. After all, everyone in Shenlong Island is very good at swimming, and their martial arts are very strong. They are well known in the entire martial arts world, even in Taiwan. So plus Lu Feng, recovering Taiwan was just a matter of time. After a few days of attack, Taiwan was conquered. The emperor was extremely happy after receiving the news. When everyone returned to Beijing and resumed their duties, not only were they promoted, but he received many awards. Lu Feng was getting closer and closer to his goal. In the main hall, the emperor suddenly thought of the war in the north. The war in the north is now starting to become a little chaotic. I wonder if any of the ministers are willing to go out and calm the war. No one answered at the scene. Everyone did not dare to stare directly at the emperor, and all buried their heads. Lu Feng, as the most powerful person in martial arts, did not speak and stood silently. Seeing everyone like this, the emperor naturally very dissatisfied. He glanced at the crowd and said, "Since no one is willing to take the initiative to go out, I might as well just send someone there. I wonder if Wei Xiaobao and Lu Feng are willing to go to the front line to quell the war." Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1017. Sure enough, the little emperor would definitely call Wei Xiaobao and Lu Feng out to fight. In the past, Lu Feng would definitely agree to everything. After all, only in this way can he establish his prestige. But now the situation is different. The battle situation in the north is the final issue, so we cannot agree so easily. When the emperor asked Wei Xiaobao naturally agreed. But Lu Feng's attitude is somewhat different. "I think there is no need to leave matters to me in the north. I have always been responsible for retaking Taiwan in Pingsan. I feel a little tired now and want to take a rest." When these words came out, Wei Xiaobao was a little shocked. Just now he had promised the emperor to solve the problem in the north, but now Lu Feng did not agree to go, which meant that he had to go alone. But in comparison, if there is a person with strong martial arts skills like Lu Feng, things in the north can definitely be easily solved. But if not, let alone solving things in the north, it is very likely that he will die. The little emperor listens after that. I was quite dissatisfied and frowned. I wonder why General Lu doesn't a Euro trademark T want to go? It's been a few months since I last came back from Taiwan. Haven't you had some rest yet? In fact, the person the little emperor values a euro most is Lu Feng. With him present, everything can be easily solved. But if he refuses, the situation will be a little different. Although Lu Feng did help the little emperor solve the problem. There are few problems, but his strength is too strong, which will inevitably make the little emperor wary. After all the problems are solved, if Lu Feng has any intention of instigating rebellion, it will not be too easy for him. What's more, he also sent people to check Lu Feng. Except for what Wei Xiaobao said before, he could no longer find any information about him. He didn't even know where he was from. In this way it may not necessarily be a good thing for a mysterious person to continue to stay in the imperial court. Before this, no matter what the little emperor said, Lu Feng had always nodded in agreement, but now a different voice appeared. It really makes him feel a little scared. I think things in the north should be left to General Lu. I'm afraid no one else can do it. Otherwise, I would not ask General Lu to go by name. In fact, I think this matter must be resolved personally. There is no need to let us ministers do everything. When everyone heard this, they were scared out of their wits. Dare to say such words, it is an act of treason. In everyone's eyes, the emperor's body is a precious body, and cannot be damaged at all, let alone allow him to leave the palace. Fighting in such a cold place in the north. The emperor's face was very ugly. Do you know what it means to say this? You are openly resisting the decree. The little emperor spoke with a slightly heavier tone. The other ministers felt very frightened and knelt down quickly, except Lu Feng. There is no such thing as open defiance to me. I have a relationship with Wei Xiaobao, and the reason why I agreed to come here was entirely because of his persuasion. But I never thought that they wanted me to do anything and treated me like a tool. I absolutely cannot tolerate this. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1018. The little emperor was stunned for a moment. Of course he used Lu Feng as a tool. He not only used Lu Feng as a tool, but every civil and military official in the dynasty was not a tool in his hands. But isn't this kind of thing normal for an emperor? The world belongs to him, no matter what he wants to do. Whatever he says is correct, because no one is qualified to refute everything he says. Now that Lu Feng actually brought it up in front of everyone in the court, the little emperor felt that he had lost all face. However, looking at the expressions of other ministers, no one would be dissatisfied with Lu Feng. The little emperor felt a little accurate. ETA Euro trademark S okay to say a few words behind someone ETA Euro trademark S back about some things, but why do you expose them in person? At the very least, I don't a Euro trademark T want to lose any public face. The little emperor feels ETA Euro trademark S too embarrassing. I think you have some misunderstanding about me. I am a warrior from the north. I just think that no one else can handle it except General Lu, so I want to ask General Lu to go there. But the little emperor had no choice at all. He could only hold back his anger and discuss with Lu Feng in a cheerful manner, because he knew that he had no chance of winning against Lu Feng. What I want to say has been made very clear just now. I want to continue to have a good rest. If you have any arrangements, you can ask other ministers in the court to go. Facing the little emperor's second request, Lu Feng still refused without hesitation, without leaving any sympathy to the little emperor, as if the little emperor was just a decoration, and he was the one who truly held the power. The little emperor's face was ugly. Looking around, all the courtiers around him, whether they were civil servants or military generals, lowered their heads and tried hard to reduce their presence, as if they had not come here to go to court. At this critical moment, no one would be stupid. No one was stupid enough to go against Lu Feng when it came to standing up to be the first person. Even if there was a little emperor on the other side, they were not willing. The little emperor is a little emperor after all, and he has not yet grasped the real power of the whole country. These courtiers, you are not a fool. How could you go against Lu Feng? It's really ridiculous. There is no one in such a large court who is willing to fight for me. You really let me down. The little emperor mocked a few words indifferently. He was not only laughing at these ministers who were unwilling to sacrifice their lives for the country and shed their blood for him, but he was also laughing at himself for having been the emperor for so long and not even having a confidant. General Lu has also seen it. Although there are many people in the court, no one has the courage to take on this matter. Therefore, the war in the north can only invite General Lu to fight. I also ask General Lu not to refuse any more. I am. The little emperor had no choice but to beg Lu Feng for the third time. The king of a country asked a person to go on an expedition 3 times in a row. It must be said that this was quite a shameless thing, and it also gave Lu Feng enough face. And this matter, the taste in the eyes of other courtiers has also changed. The little emperor in front of him is simply not enough to support this powerful empire. He does not have that kind of strength, nor does he have that kind of mind. Many people are unwilling to surrender to him anymore. On the contrary, seeing how domineering Lu Feng was, they felt that this was the person they should follow. 3 Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1019. Lu Feng saw the civil and military officials in the court lowering their heads, and a smile appeared on his lips. This was the result he wanted. No one dared to respond, and no one dared to go against him. And the little emperor is destined to play a failed role. At this critical moment, the little emperor had his eyes set on Wei Xiaobao several times, but what kind of person was Wei Xiaobao? Everyone knows he is a real despicable person. Mainly because of matters related to his life, he can betray anyone no matter who it is. Now, although the little emperor is in some difficulties, if Wei Xiaobao stands up to support the little emperor at this time, it will be tantamount to pushing himself opposite Lu Feng. Wei Xiaobao is not a fool, he will not do anything detrimental to himself. The little emperor had no one to support him. Even if he was furious in his heart, he had no way to show it on the surface. He could only wait patiently for Lu Feng to express his stance. Since everyone is unwilling to go, there is nothing I can do. However, if the emperor insists that I go, it is not impossible, but if I want to go to the north to fight, there are conditions. Lu Feng paused. These words sounded a bit convoluted, but in fact they were telling the little emperor not to think that what he said was really useful. It was Lu Feng who really spoke. "General Lu, please speak." The little emperor gritted his teeth when he said this, but he had no choice but to wait for Lu Feng to continue speaking, and he had to agree to the conditions he was going to put forward, no matter what the little emperor was. Dare to say a word no. The little emperor, who had already foreseen that he would not be able to say a word no in the future, was very angry at this moment and sat helplessly on the dragon chair waiting for Lu Feng to say. "What I want is very simple. Since I do so many things in the court, then even if I want to hold all the rights in my own hands, it is the right thing to do, right?" Lu Feng asked rhetorically. Before making the request, he also gave the little emperor a warning. The profound meaning of this sentence was to warn the little emperor that the court is now so stable and its territory can be expanded internally and externally, all because of Lu Feng. And he, although the little emperor is the emperor in name, he can actually do nothing. Even if he can grow in the future, no one can see it now, and no one can guarantee it in the future. They would rather put all their hopes in Lu Feng. After all, compared to a young emperor, Lu Feng is a qualified adult. His literary ability can determine the world and his military ability can bring peace to the world. Such a talent is a model of a wise king no matter what. So many good things have happened to the court recently, and it is indeed all because of General Lu. General Lu has contributed a lot, so even if the general wants the throne of a king with a different surname, I have already given it to him. What else does the general want now? Is it possible that you still want this throne? The little emperor's face turned dark. Lu Feng's words made him feel bad. There was always a feeling that he would be excluded anytime and anywhere, especially Lu Feng's ambitions were now obvious. Only now did the little emperor realize that the throne of a king with a different surname was not what Lu Feng wanted to come from the beginning. It was just to prepare for taking over the throne from the emperor smoothly. 3 Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1020. It was only then that the little emperor realized that what Lu Feng had been asking for some time ago was not gold and silver, but the real reason for status and power. It turned out that he came for the throne in the first place. The little emperor, who didn't realize until now that he had been deceived, was so angry that he immediately jumped up from the throne, ran down and glared at Lu Feng. This was the last thing he could do. With his current age and height, when he walked in front of Lu Feng, he was just a young boy who couldn't even hit Lu Feng's waist. Now that he walked in front of Lu Feng, he looked really ridiculous. But no matter how the little emperor behaves now, the ministers have no reaction. They are like puppets, standing motionless. However, if according to the usual theory, their monarch has been humiliated in this way, they should have long ago just rushed forward. After a few minutes, the little emperor calmed down. He noticed something was wrong and began to become very flustered. "Euro a euro. The little emperor looked at these ministers and didn't know what to say for a moment. He was afraid that he would come to the same conclusion as he had guessed, but it was not in line with his character not to speak to get to the bottom of the matter. "Emperor, it's time to go to court, how can you get down from the throne so casually?" Lu Feng joked about the little emperor. "It makes no difference whether I am sitting on the dragon throne or not. Is there anyone else standing on the same side as me in the hall? When did you finally win everyone over? Is that because the salary I gave you is not enough? If you still treat me like this, when will I, the Qing dynasty, ever feel sorry for you?" The little emperor's face was pale. There were countless conspiracies in his living environment since he was a child, so he could understand many times without saying it explicitly. He yelled angrily, thinking that none of the Ixinjiluo family had done anything. "I'm sorry for other people's affairs, why would these courtiers choose to betray them at this time? As Manchus, they did not exclude Han people from serving as ministers in their own court. Isn't this a sign of broad-mindedness? People who are not from my race must have different thoughts. No one can guarantee whether you can be truly good to the Han people. We just welcome our own people back to our own home. We are Han ministers and have always been, none of them are lackeys of the Qing court." A Han minister stood up and answered the little emperor's question. "If there are no capable people among the Han people, they Han ministers will be fine. After all, no one can lead them. But it is different now. With Lu Feng, how could they Han people still tolerate letting the Manchus make the decision when there was such a unique genius like Lu Feng? So most of them took the initiative to join Lu Feng, and the others were bribed by Lu Feng. And among these courts, there were many people who were suitable for the little emperor and came from the Manchus. However, these people still betrayed the little emperor because they did not have a long history like the Han people, so they did not have too much loyalty and morality in their hearts. As long as whoever can satisfy their desires and satisfy their greed, they will consider whoever is their master, regardless of whether they are of the same race." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1021. Nowadays, there is no one who belongs to the little emperor in the entire court. The only one who makes the little emperor feel that he is one of his own, Wei Xiaobao, does not dare to stand up and fight against Lu Feng for him. The little emperor suddenly feels so lonely. "I will go to the war in the north, and I will definitely come back with a great victory. On the day when I come back, Emperor, it is time for you to abdicate, and from now on this day should also change hands." Lu Feng smiled and talked about his conditions with the young emperor. Compared with his current status as a prince of the Qing dynasty, he can take over the court from the young emperor in a serious manner. No matter what he wants to do, the Manchu dynasty will, none of the ministers would object, because everyone here is Lu Feng's people. The little emperor did not want to agree to this condition, but in the face of Lu Feng and the ministers of the Manchu dynasty, what was the use of his words? No matter whether he agreed personally or not, people in this world will change their surnames after the war in the north is over. Whether you agree personally now or not, in short, there is no place for you in this world anymore. When I come back, you'd better have prepared an abdication edict. Otherwise, don't blame me for using strong methods. Those with delicate skin and tender meat may not be able to bear it. Lu Feng was still smiling. He looked like a suave young master. He didn't look like a powerful minister who could turn his hands around and make rain in the court. But he was such a man who didn't look threatening at all. Lu Feng has actually become the controller of the Qing court, and no one in the world is dissatisfied with him. Lu Feng, who has always made excellent achievements, has already won the hearts of people all over the world. Many people have not known this until only then did they remember that there were far more Han people in the world than Manchus. Only then did they realize that it was wrong to kneel all the time. It is the most correct thing to stand up and become the master of the world. And the premise of all this: we just need a wise monarch, and now a wise monarch has appeared, that is Lu Feng. I know. The little emperor no longer used the title Zhen, but used the self-titled I because he knew that he was no longer qualified to call himself Zhen. Now he is simply a lost dog, a loser. If he is not killed, he has a good plan. At least there is an ending where he abdicates and he won't die a tragic death. Should I thank you for being a kind person? Thinking of the outcome that he would not be killed, the little emperor suddenly said such a sentence. The ministers looked on and did not speak, just silently waiting for Lu Feng's answer. You can comfort yourself however you want, but don't think that just because you are a child you can challenge my principles. I will give you a chance, but whether you can seize it or not is not up to me. Lu Feng's answer was full of threats. They were all warning the little emperor. Lu Feng just gave him a chance, but this opportunity is up to the little emperor to choose whether to seize it. If the emperor chooses to give up this opportunity, then Lu Feng will not let him go just because he is still young. Please also ask the emperor to withdraw from the court as soon as possible and not to make unnecessary contributions here. Following Lu Feng's answer, the ministers also spoke in unison. But the ministers were just advising the young emperor not to act casually and to think twice about anything, especially now that the civil and military officials of the entire dynasty are persuading him to abdicate. Why bother to go against so many people? 3 Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1022. All civil and military officials in the dynasty were asking the little emperor to abdicate. The little emperor saw all this very clearly. He understood that everything was irreversible and he no longer had anyone to support him. But he couldn't figure out why Lu Feng could bribe so many people so easily. Has he always treated his courtiers very badly? Since I came to the throne, I have never treated you badly. I really can't figure out what kind of benefits he has given you, so that you can stand so firmly on his side. The little emperor refused to give up and wanted his courtiers to give him a reasonable explanation. He would never understand that people's hearts could be bribed so easily. He had grown up in the palace since he was a child and had met countless people. Because he will flatter whoever has more power, but he thought that after he became the emperor, everyone should surround him, but now Lu Feng hit him with living facts and told him that this was not the case. What should he do? Please His Majesty the Emperor, please abdicate as soon as possible. You are not worthy of your position now, so you should stop making unnecessary struggles. The civil and military officials of the Manchu dynasty still had no other attitude and insisted that the young emperor choose to abdicate. Their firm and united front gave the young emperor a sense of powerlessness. I know, I will write the abdication edict now, and when General Lu comes back, I can take this abdication edict and tell the world, but I am sorry for my ancestors, and on the day when I tell the world, I will commit suicide to apologize. The little emperor smiled helplessly, but he still wanted to plot against Lu Feng at this last moment. As an emperor who was forced to abdicate and died on the same day as the abdication edict was announced to the world, no matter who he was, he would guess that it must be Lu Feng. Kill him, so he will die on the same day he announced it to the world. As long as the people below have this guess, then Lu Feng will not leave a good reputation. No matter how many things he does in the future, there will also be people who point at Lu Feng Euro trademark's nose and yell, saying that he was in the wrong position and was seeking power to usurp the throne. Lu Feng could spot this little trick at a glance. You don't a Euro trademark need to feel sorry for your ancestors. You just need to live peacefully until your natural death. If you want to commit suicide, I will let you know that you will be paralyzed in bed for the rest of your life. Every day, you will know how the world curses you and your family. What does it feel like to be an ancestor? Lu Feng sneered. Don't think that he has no means to control this little emperor. he is a fledgling calf and wants to compete with him. Isn't this nonsense? You. The little emperor pointed his index finger at Lu Feng. He had nowhere to vent his anger. In the end, he could only look at the cold dragon chair and sigh silently. After all, he couldn't even save such a simple iron knot. Originally, he wanted to use his own death to Lu Feng caused a little reputational impact, but Lu Feng stopped his plan from the beginning, and there was nothing he could do. Xiaobao, please accompany me back to the bedroom. I want someone to accompany me for a while. The little emperor lowered his head in defeat and said nothing more. He just asked Wei Xiaobao, the person who grew up with him, to spend the last moment with him. Wei Xiaobao could not empathize with the pain in his heart, but at least he could comfort him. Some